Follow live. Gout third in men's 200-meter heat. Books semifinal ticket. Tokyo. A certain star of the future. Very much a star of the present. Australian sprint phenom Gout punched his ticket to the semifinals of the men's 200-meter at the World Athletics Championships on Wednesday evening, finishing his highly anticipated heat in third place. Despite admitting to butterflies in the stomach ahead of his maiden international senior race meet, the 17-year-old showed no nerves or rust in his heat sprint at the Japan National Stadium. Gout clocked a 20.23s to finish behind only Jamaica's Brian Lavelle, 19.84s, the third quickest in the world over 200m this year, and Zimbabwe's Mchanikesh Karamba, 20.06s. As one of the three quickest in his heat, Gout automatically advances to Thursday evening's semifinals. The finals of both the men's and women's 200-meter will take place on Friday. Gout arrived at these championships in Tokyo as the 20th fastest in the world over the 200m distance this year, a national record 20.02s set at the Golden Spike Ostrava. Everyone that's gone quicker is at least 3 years his senior. The Queenslander has long been hailed a sprint prodigy, consistently likened to athletics megastar Usain Bolt due to his similar upright sprinting action and powerful finishing ability. Both traits were on full display during his heat run in Tokyo, where he created space between himself and those trying to prize away his third place as he powered down the home straight. It continues an impressive season for the Ipswich Grammar School boy. In March, Gout won the under-20 Australian 200-meter title in a wind-assisted 19.98s. A month later, he clocked a wind-assisted 19.84s to win the senior Australian 200-meter title in Perth. Then he set that legal 20.02s, breaking his own national record by 0.02s. It is the second fastest time ever posted by an under-18 athlete in the 200m. Thousands of feet stamped on the steel stands like drums heralding a warrior's arrival. Banners waved, horns sounded, and all around the Olympic track, the air thickened, not just with the sweltering heat of the Summer Games, but with the hum of global anticipation. Track events had always been the crown jewel of the Games, and tonight, it wasn't just about the 200 meters. It was about proving something. To the world, yes, but even more so to himself. In Lane 5 stood a name that had begun whispering through track and field circles like a prophecy. Gout. Yes, that was his real name. No aliases, no stage names. Just Gout. A name that echoed twice, as if the universe was making sure you didn't forget it. He was 19 years old, hailing from South Sudan but raised in Australia. His story one of displacement and resilience, of war-torn roots giving way to hopeful branches. Just a few years ago, he was running barefoot on red dirt fields, dodging goats and potholes. Now, clad in track spikes so sleek they looked like they could cut glass, he stood beneath the Olympic rings. The gun cracked like lightning. 8 bodies launched from the blocks, muscles coiled and fired like springs, each runner a blur of motion. The 200m curve challenged their balance, speed, and nerves. Runners leaned into the bend like they were defying physics. Gout's start wasn't perfect. He was a beat behind. The crowd roared as the Jamaican favorite surged ahead, already leaning into top gear. The American in lane 7 was close behind. But Gout didn't panic. He had trained for this. Not just the running, the storm inside, the anxiety, the weight of expectations, the fear of being almost good enough. No, this race was personal. It always had been. 5 years earlier, Gout stood outside a rusted metal gate at a public school in Brisbane, sneakers too big for his feet. His new coach, a stern woman with a clipboard and a sharp eye, had been watching him from the bleachers. "I'm not sure if this kid's even 12, someone had whispered. "I heard he can run like the wind," another said. His coach called him over, clipboard in hand. "You ever run 200 meters before, Gout?" He nodded. "Timed." He shook his head. "All right, let's see what the wind has to say about you." He didn't have technique then. He didn't know how to come off blocks, how to lean into curves, how to breathe with rhythm. But what he had was raw, undeniable speed. He ran like he was chasing something, or maybe running from something. At the end of the track, the coach clicked her stopwatch and raised an eyebrow. "Well, We might just have a problem. A good one, he asked, panting. The best kind. Back in the Olympic Stadium, 80 meters remained. Gout was in fourth place. Breathing steady. Form clean. The kind of control you didn't expect from someone his age. Every movement calculated, shoulders low. Arms slicing through the air like a knife, through silk. The finish line surged closer. He didn't need to win the heat. He just needed to qualify. But he had never been good at just doing the minimum. That wasn't why he was here. He dug deep. Deeper than he had in the prelims. Deeper than in nationals. Deeper even than when he'd lost his first big race and cried in the locker room while his teammates celebrated their wins. With a final push, Gout edged past the Canadian sprinter beside him. It wasn't enough for first, but third. Just enough to book his ticket to the semifinals. The scoreboard flashed. Heat 3. Jam, 19.88s. USA, 20.01s. AUS, Gout, 20.12s white heavy checkmark. The green checkmark next to his name lit up on the stadium screen, and for a brief second, the crowd's roar softened in his ears. All he could hear was his own breathing. Not labored, just focused. Ready. In the media tent after the race, a reporter leaned forward. Gout, you finished third in a stacked heat. You're through to the semis. How are you feeling? He wiped sweat from his brow and took a breath.